The Jedi are ancient and esteemed keepers of the peace, and for generations have protected the galaxy and fought against the tyranny of the dark side. Jedi strive for inner peace and do not wish to obtain power for power's sake, but hope to use their abilities to benefit others. This being said though, there have been some insanely powerful Jedi Knights over the history of the galaxy, and today I would like to count down, in my opinion, the top 8 most powerful Jedi. Originally, this list was a top 6, but I had a very difficult time dwindling it down, so I have thus chosen to make it a top 8 list, and I hope you enjoy. But first, I would like to tell you guys about the Star Wars trading card app Topps. The card trading game is all about collecting the best Star Wars characters, from the Resistance and Sith to bounty hunters. It's absolutely free to download and play, and it's tons of fun. What you're actually seeing now is me adding new packs and showing off my personal collection. I mainly use the app to explore the archives of characters and discover new characters less focused on in the films. I have come across different cards of characters I have never even seen in the films before and been enabled to learn more about them. I even discovered new things about some of my favorite characters, for example that Grand Moff Tarkin's first name is actually Wilhuff, which is something I had no idea about. Also, opening up packs is honestly addicting. The second I got both Finn, Yoda, and Savage Opress in a single pack, I knew I had to open 10 more. On top of this, you can trade cards with your friends and even randoms, and chat about the game and exchange characters. In the description there is a link to check it out, and the game is absolutely free to download and play, and I think it's a great way to impress your friends and family about even the most obscure Star Wars characters. Nonetheless, it's a great game for both Star Wars experts and newbies alike. I hope you guys at least take a look and write down below who you got in your first card pack. If one of you get Kylo Ren, I am extremely jealous. Now let us begin with number 8. Number 8, Lord Hoth. Lord Hoth was a Jedi battle master during the time of the Brotherhood of Darkness and Darth Bane. Hoth was a hero of many worlds, earning his name by fighting a group of Sith pirates on the ice world of Hoth and saving the lives of many innocents. Lord Hoth dedicated his entire life to hunting down the dark side and attempting to eliminate it, with his goal of becoming a Jedi Knight to rid the galaxy of the Sith and return it to a state of peace. Hoth was the leader of the Army of Light and held up his brothers and sisters in their time of need, motivating them when all seemed lost and keeping them moving forward in the face of despair. Hoth triumphed against all odds. He succeeded and hunted down the last remaining Sith, save for Darth Bane, and gave his life to destroy them. Hoth was a legendary and somewhat brutal fighter for a Knight of the Order, involved in more large-scale confrontations than almost anyone, and stood amongst one of the best generals and leaders in galactic history. Number 7, Nomi Sunrider. Nomi Sunrider was a Jedi of the Order held as a pinnacle of the Jedi, remaining strong in the face of some of the most ferocious Sith and odds in history. Nomi was directly involved with the group that destroyed the Freda Nad uprising and fought against the way of the Sith. Nomi was also prevalent during the betrayal of Exar Kun and his swaying to the dark side. Nomi was a skilled duelist and exceptional Force user. Nomi single-handedly used the complex ability of Force Sever on Exar Kun's apprentice, Ulic Qel-Droma, and removed his connection to the Force. This was an exceedingly difficult task, especially for a sole person. Nomi was also responsible for uniting the Jedi together and stopping Exar Kun before he eventually ravaged the galaxy. Following all of this, Nomi became Grand Master of the Order, renowned throughout the galaxy for her courage and compassion during times where there seemed to be none. Number 6, Jacen Solo. Jacen Solo was the son of Han and Leia in the EU and was one of the most gifted Jedi ever. Jacen held a very strong connection to the Force and wished for nothing more than to unite the galaxy as one. During the end of the Yuuzhan Vong War, Jacen achieved one of the most powerful abilities in all of Star Wars, becoming one with the Force in his physical state and defeating the Yuuzhan Vong leader, saving the galaxy. Jacen unfortunately though betrayed his family and values, turning against the Jedi way and became the Sith Lord Darth Titus, hailed to be more powerful than Darth Vader. He did this in an effort to forcefully bring the galaxy together. Jacen was a prodigy with both the Force and the lightsaber, being of the strong bloodline of the Skywalkers. During his time, Jacen defeated some of the most powerful Sith and Jedi of his era, including the likes of Mara Jade and Kyle Katarn. Although Jacen did not end his life in the way of the light, his deeds as a Jedi lived on through the Order, and his once pureness was never forgotten. Number 5, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a Jedi Master during the time of the Clone Wars and Order 66 survivor during the rise of the Empire. Obi-Wan was wise and powerful, with some considering him to be the best of the Order. Obi-Wan was an intelligent and thought-out fighter, always choosing the smart way even if it was not the easiest one. He was hailed as a gifted Force user, even matching the strength of the prodigy Anakin Skywalker in a feat of the Force, and was an expert duelist, specializing in the all-defensive form Surisu. On top of all of this, following his death, Obi-Wan achieved oneness with the Force, and was thus able to return as a Force spirit to aid the living members of the Jedi Order. Obi-Wan is perhaps one of the most experienced Jedi ever, fighting against Dark Jedi, Sith, and bounty hunters. If there was any major conflict in the galaxy at any time, Obi-Wan was seldom far behind to set things right. Number 4, Revin. Revin was a Jedi during the Mandalorian War, and actually led an escapade to end the tyranny the Mandalorians were inflicting. Directly defeating Mandalore the Ultimate, Revin became a hero of the Order, but eventually he turned to the dark side due to an encounter with the deadly Sith Emperor. But Revin eventually pulled himself back from the brink and fought for the light, becoming a Jedi yet again and achieving the rank of Master. Revin was an acclaimed duelist, fighting against the likes of Darth Malak and numerous other Sith, but in the gift of the Force he was nearly unrivaled, capable of matching the immense ancient power of the Emperor one-on-one. Kreia described looking at Revin like looking into the Force itself, and he eventually gained the title of the Prodigal Knight among his contemporaries. Again, like Obi-Wan, Revin too transcended the physical plane after his worldly death, and became a Force ghost. Revin was not only powerful when considering what he could physically do, but also for his teachings for both the Sith and Jedi Order, as they were long pondered over hundreds of years after his death. Number 3, Mace Windu. Mace Windu was a respected and revolutionary Jedi. His achievements both with his diplomacy and in battle are legendary. Mace Windu was fast and wise, with his skill in the Force among the best of the Order during his time. Mace could use a special ability known as Shatterpoint and literally perceive weaknesses through the Force. He was also the rare Jedi that walked past the line between the light and dark, but yet never gave in to the temptation of the dark side. Mace and his skills as a duelist were unparalleled. Mace even defeated one of the most powerful Sith to have ever lived in some regard. Windu also had what some may consider to be a dark side trump card, with his lightsaber fighting form known as Vapad. Vapad allowed Mace to channel his enemy's aggression and hate through his body, then let it back out, creating a superconductive loop of power. Mace is also fast enough he has been described as a blur of motion, even by other Jedi. Not only was Windu powerful, but he was also controlled, achieving what many Jedi could not, remaining always at peace within the Jedi way, and transforming his disadvantages into advantages. Number 2, Yoda. Yoda is perhaps the single greatest Jedi teacher to have ever lived, taking part in nearly all the training of the Jedi of his time. Yoda represented what every Jedi should be, never even feeling the temptation of the dark side, and living a life of peace. Yoda, however, would not stand the harming of innocents, willing at any moment to give it all to save a life. Yoda perhaps held more overall knowledge and understanding of the Force than any other Jedi, knowing why it was the way it was and the destructive nature of the dark side. Not only did Yoda understand the Force, but he was an expert at using it, capable of lifting insanely large objects and absorbing even the most powerful Force lightning. Yoda's gift of foresight was also unrivaled, with many Jedi of the Order venturing to him with guidance for their own visions. In regards to skill as a duelist, Yoda was extraordinary, showcasing speed and stamina the likes few had ever witnessed. Yoda's strength was also impressive, with him even overpowering the Dark Lord Sidious for a time. Above all, Yoda is the perfect Jedi and best of the Order, but there is one that reaches even beyond his immense power. Number 1, Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker was no ordinary Jedi, but was like his father, capable of so much more than even the most powerful Force users ever. Force users like Yoda and Sidious come around every few thousand years, and their power is extreme, but Luke is something far greater than even that. Unlike his father, Luke actually reached his full potential and became all that he could be. When Luke was at his peak, his Force pushes could level armies, and he appeared to be using several lightsabers at once when he dueled. Luke became a true master of all the lightsaber fighting styles, and even displayed powers never witnessed before, using what appeared to be fire-like golden force to destroy his enemies without the use of the dark side. Luke was also capable of what his nephew had before, being able to become one with the Force while still alive, and using its power to its absolute limit. In large part, Luke never had to worry about the opposition in a fight, more just being mindful of himself. At the end, there were few things Luke could not do, and upon his death he became a Force ghost, like his father before him. So those were just my picks for the top 8 most powerful Jedi. Keep in mind this was just my opinion and will most likely be different from yours. I hope you enjoyed the video even if you disagree, and leave down below which Jedi you believe is the most powerful. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to again check the description for tops. Thank you so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.